own home router that you use in your house that has been given to you by your ISP provider for which you paid money. And then you have a machine behind it, like a laptop, desktop, or a phone or whatever. It doesn't really, it's completely irrelevant. Then all the communication is done through that router, and that router is the device which actually has a public IP address. From there, all the requests are forwarded to the machines that actually made those requests. So if you're opening up a web browser, uh, not a web browser, sorry, if you're opening up a website, it's going to go through the router, and then the router is going to receive the information and forward them to the correct device within LAN. That is why we use Network Address Translation Protocol. But with the coming of the IPv6 addresses, that's going to become quite redundant. Anyway, let's just go ahead and see. Oh, this is still downloading. Okay, so it's 50% now. It is taking quite a while, but no worries there. I assure you it's going to finish. While it is going on, let's just have a look at some of the other features that we have here. So, capture. Yep. So this is where your name is displayed, and you can play around with notifications, and this is also where you click when you want to turn your machine off in terms of GUI. Into settings and other things we will get into later, but for the time being, let's just go over some of the basic options that you have here. So we got settings, we got logout, we got lock, we got power off. By the way, for lock, you can use, in most of the cases, you can use Control Alt L, and it's a really good habit for laptops, especially if you leave them unattended. Not a good idea. Here you can just check out the date. You have the calendar. It's fairly simple to take a look at it. The calendar, like any other calendar, nothing much to say there. Over here, you go to the battery if you're in a laptop, and under power settings, aside from choosing your plan, whether it's extensive use and high performance or whether it's power saving mode or something of a kind, look, you have here blank screen, so it will blank the screen after 5 minutes. Don't do that. Well, these are my preferences. You can choose them to whatever you want them to be. Automatic suspend off, but when battery power is critical, hibernate. You can choose power off or hibernate. Surprisingly enough, it doesn't have that many options like I do on Fedora, but maybe... Okay, no, so apparently that's it. Not much there, but you know, when you're using Linux machines, the batteries tend to last forever. They're very energy efficient, so to say. I don't want to get into all of these things at the moment. We will get in the follow-up tutorial, I will actually explain about the GUI and, well, not the follow-up tutorial, but once we're through this mini chapter within a course, through these three ways in which you can actually set up your entire environment. Excellent. So the VirtualBox Guest Edition disk image file has been successfully downloaded. Do you wish to register this file image? Insert it into the Virtual C insert. Thank you very much. Important software updates. Install them. Come on, capture. Okay, so VirtualBox Editions contains software intended to be automatically started. Would you like to run it? This is an equivalent of you putting a CD into your machine and running it. So just go ahead and run. It does require a password, so go ahead and type in your root password. Authenticate. Authenticating. Oh, come on. Excellent. So it's running this in the terminal, and it should finish up shortly. After which time, I do believe that we're going to need to perform a reboot, but I'm kind of hoping that we won't, that it will catch it automatically. This process, it might take a while, but building the main guest module failed. Okay, let's see if this is gonna present some major issues. I don't know, it can have some failures. It's still gonna work the way I've experienced it anyway on my other virtual machines. Press return to close this window. Excellent. So, are you gonna load it up now, or do we need to restart? Oh, we definitely need a restart. So install updates and restart. Sure, why not? Here we go. Okay, I don't want to capture. Excellent. So let's just wait up until it boots and see what happens. Remember, we are looking for a full screen because I really don't feel like doing this on a small screen, and believe me, neither will you. So once again, we are prompted for a decryption password. And there you go, it's booting up again. The boot process is not that slow, it's relatively fast. There are some updates that have been applied as well, but we will need to perform additional checkups on this, and these systems need to be updated quite frequently too. Although, unlike Windows, it's not gonna force a restart on you. It's not gonna restart in the middle of things while you're doing something important. That will never happen with Linux, quite literally. And pretty much you do these sort of updates manually with the packet managers on regular basis, pretty much on daily basis. There are small updates, although the updates for Linux are generally never big as updates for Windows, so it's going to take you a very short amount of time to fill them up. And it doesn't take like a process of ages. When you reset the machine, you get that spinning circle. It says, please do not turn your computer off until the updates apply. Oh, that's a killer. It can be a bit annoying, but oh well, what can you really do about it? Not much. If you want to apply updates in Windows, that is what you have to do, but in Linux, not so much. Let's see how far this is. Come on, please. Okay, so it has popped a little bit, but still gonna take a while, so I'm just gonna pause the tutorial here and we will continue on in the next one so you don't have to wait for this to be over. Anyway, I bid you farewell until then. Welcome back everybody. Today I am just going to show you that the VirtualBox guest editions have indeed installed and the machine has indeed booted. So here it is, Red Hat Virtual Machine. I have switched it to full screen mode. If I just go ahead and tick this, there we go. So it says view here. I can switch it to full screen if I wish to do so, so you don't see any of the differences, so you don't see the VirtualBox lines and toolbar. Anyway, so let me just go ahead and minimize it a little bit. The first time when you boot it up like this, when you log in, what I've noticed and what I've noticed with my previous virtual machines is that the VirtualBox guest editions don't load up immediately. So log in, wait maybe 15 seconds, a bit more, maybe 20, something like that, for them to load. Try resizing your screen like this. Pretty sure that that doesn't have that much effect, but something seems to be reloading in the background, and it does help out the way I've noticed it. Apparently here it has I have broken something. Have I indeed broken something? No, I haven't. It does work. Perhaps the screen just blanked out or something like that. I could not switch the monitor configuration. Okay, so this is not a big deal here. Anyway, as I said, just try resizing the screen, wait for about 20 seconds or so, and the VirtualBox guest editions will inevitably load, or should load anyway. Now, in this tutorial, what I wanted to do with you is show you how you can actually perform a dual boot of Windows 8.1 and Red Hat. Now, this is only valid for Windows 8.1 and Windows 8. You're not going to have such difficulties with Windows 7 or Vista or XP or anything of a kind. If you by any chance happen to have any of those operating systems, and if you wish to perform a dual boot, please do post it in the discussions. I will be more than happy to help you out and to give you detailed instructions on how to do that, as that is a lot simpler. But the procedure is pretty much the same. Anyway, so as I said, I will show you 3 ways how you can set up your environment. One I have already shown to you, how to use VirtualBox and how to install it. The second one will be how to dual boot how to perform a dual boot between Windows